I'm filming a string of these together, if you didn't already notice. This one's How to Rock a Birthday Party, and I wasn't a big fan of it the first time I saw it. But, much like an election, and it's a lot like an election, with the exception of this time Nelson's in the role that Kevin was in before. An election was actually made after, so it's fascinating how an election came first, and you compare it to that, but at the same time, an election was actually made after. It's intriguing. So the plot is this: Casey really wants Gravity 5 to throw her a great birthday party when her birthday comes at the end of that week, and at the same time they realize and discover Nelson's birthday is the same day, so they decide to throw him a joint birthday party. Except Casey isn't a fan of any of the ideas that Nelson. My hand's really big in this camera, if you didn't already notice. Hey, look out! Sounded more like Chewbacca. So, she's basically tossing aside all the ideas he has to make it an enjoyable birthday party for him, so as to make it an enjoyable birthday party for her. And she's pretty much hogging it all. She doesn't realize it. So then, eventually gets to the part where she realizes the mistake and she needs to make up for it. So with that aside, there's some good comedic timing at different parts in the episode. Like, the subplot is especially enjoyable. It involves Molly and Grace are not invited to the party. Molly wants to get invited so that she can reject the invitation. Except Casey won't even invite her to begin with. So she's devising ways. So she and Grace are devising ways so as to get invited, so that they can indeed get the so that they can reject the invite. Although Nelson, it's made abundantly clear that Nelson wants Grace to be there, particularly by the end of the episode when, like, we're not going to give too much away. And the aspect of Molly resorting to being nice in order to get invited, and like trying like hell not to be mean for a single second while Casey's watching her. That's funny as well. Kudos to Samantha for her efforts in that. So, and then another subplot of the episode, which I also thought was enjoyable. Xander, Stevie, and Kevin are trying to figure out what to get Nelson for his birthday, and so then they're shopping online, and they keep failing to get what they want to get him what they know he'd love to have, because they keep getting outbid, and there's a point where they're actually bidding against each other, and that's pretty funny. The idea of it is pretty funny. I mean, they maybe could have done something a little stronger with it, but still works pretty well. And then by the end of the episode, so as to like kind of pay Molly back for like efforts throughout the episode to. She's always getting the short end of the stick. I mean, I know she's supposed to be the primary antagonist of the series, but come on, you don't necessarily treat your antagonist this way every single episode. Not only will it get boring and repetitive, but at the same time, if the character especially has more substance to him, they need more to show too. That being said, though, the episode's still pretty entertaining, as it is, regardless. And, well, Casey once again figures out the lesson she needs to learn too late in the episode. She figures it out a little earlier than she does in the other episodes, though. And at the same time as that, you can tell the performers are trying. And the way that Grace actually seems more reasonable in this kind of plan than Molly does. Like, Molly's maybe trying too hard just to simply shine on... give Casey a shiner. That may not be the phrase I'm looking for. The idea that, like, it gets to the point where even Grace is thinking, okay, this is too much. This is too complicated. This is just going too far. You should know you're in trouble even when the dumb girl knows that, starts to realize shit's getting real. Although you get that in a much stronger level in a future episode, but more on that later. It's not the next episode, but it's gonna be. I'm gonna enjoy getting to that one as well as probably the next one as well.